Hi guys, this is Christy from Little Cedar House, and today I'm going to show you how to felt some soap with the kits that I have for sale. These kits contain 3 beautiful goat milk soaps that have been naturally scented and some beautiful fibre that's been grown and processed in Australia. It also contains a felting needle to do some needle felting decorations, but I'll show you how to do that in another video. I've already felted one of these soaps, so you can have a look to see what the end product is going to look like. Okay, so first off, I just set my soap there so I can see how big my square of fibre needs to be. You're going to do 3 layers, alternating the direction of the fibres. So when you're pulling out your fibre, it's always good to hold it quite a ways back from the end. The fibres are quite long, as you can see there. And if you're holding on to the other end of the fibre that you're trying to pull out, it makes it impossible. So if you're having a hard time pulling the fibre out, just hold it a little bit further back. Okay, so that's my first layer. And basically you just want to make sure that it's about at least 1 centimetre longer on either side. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit longer than that, but at least 1 centimetre is good. So I'm going to come right out to the edge there and do my next layer. And I make it a little bit longer this way than the fibres that went that way. So I have plenty of overlap. Okay, one last layer, which I'm going to do completely. Just completely cover both of the other layers. A bit more there, and a bit more there. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is pick up my soap and just chuck it in the middle. And the easiest way I've found to wrap the soap is if we pick up all the layers together and hold it in a pinching grip. What I'm going to do is grab this side and just fold it up and over and hold it with my thumb. And come around to this side and fold it up as well and hold it there with my thumb. I want it to be reasonably firm if you can. And then the last sides, just fold it up. And the other side, fold up. Oops. And fold it around this way. Okay. There you go. So if it's not quite, if you feel that maybe you need to fold it to the back or to the front, that's fine as long as it's just nice and firm. There. So we've got good coverage all the way around. The firmer you can wrap it now, the easier it will be to felt. So now I'm just going to grab my water. I'm just going to get in there and wet it. And you can see that these bits here, the water hasn't really penetrated in. So I'm just going to tap those a bit. That just helps get rid of the air bubble that's kind of stopping the water from penetrating there. Keep hold of the middle because that's where most of the ends of your fibres are. Make sure the back's all nice and wet as well. Okay, it's good and wet now. Okay, so shouldn't really have any very spongy bits left anymore, and it should be wet right through. So I'm just going to wet it a little bit more, and I'm going to put it between my two hands like that, and I'm just going to rub gently up and down. At the moment, all I'm trying to do is encourage the lather from the soap to come through the fibre a bit, because that will give me my lubricant. If you go too hard too fast, you're just going to push all the fibres around and make a big mess. Push the fibres off the soap. Okay, so now the soap's come through, I can be a little bit more vigorous with my rubbing. You'll notice too that I'm pushing with my thumbs as well, and my little fingers there too, pushed in. Okay, so I keep turning the soap around because one hand is generally always more dominant than the other, and it helps to make sure it's evenly felting. And I'm also going to turn the soap this way as well. That's because my thumbs will exert a different amount of pressure up here to down here, so it helps to make sure that I'm felting the soap evenly along the sides. Okay, now I'll just wash the soap a bit so it's a bit easier to see. You'll probably notice that you'll get like this soft bit up here because you've not really been felting this bit up here much. You've not been rubbing it much. It's in the gap between your fingers. So don't panic too much about that. As long as you don't keep felting for too long without dealing with it, it's not going to stay like that. So all I'm doing here now is just patting it down a little bit and rubbing it over. And you'll feel if there's any wrinkles in there. If there's any wrinkles, just give it a little rub and it should just smooth out. Okay, it'll probably transfer the wrinkles a bit to around here, that's fine. So I'll give it a little bit more of a rub. And then what I'm going to do so I can start felting this bit here is I'm going to start turning the soap this way in my hands. So end over end. And that will start to rub on these end fibres as well. Okay, I'm still rubbing with my thumbs and my little fingers, my whole hand there. Just going to wash it off a little bit so I can see what's happening. I'll give it a good rub. Sometimes having too much soap, it can just get in the way. It's nice to just rinse it off a bit. Okay, so if we have a look at it now and we pinch some of the fibres away, you can still see it's still kind of coming off quite easily, and a lot of these fibres are coming away, so it needs a bit more felting. And get in and be quite rough with it now though. As you would maybe if you're washing your hands. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So now you see they're felted down a little bit harder, and that's probably all I'd do. That's fine. The fiber's not going to come off. I mean, you could rub the whole soap away if you wanted to. So you've got to get that easy medium of how much soap you lose in the felting process. Alright, so that's it. The last thing that I will do is give it a rinse in cold water under the tap. So I'll just quickly go and do that now. There you go. So if you just run it under under the running water and give it a bit of a rub like you were before, then that should wash most of the suds out of the fibre, and it can just then you can just leave it to dry. And the only other thing that I do is I just get a towel, just put it on the towel, just press on it a little bit. This just helps it dry a bit faster. It doesn't really matter, but you know, I get a bit impatient sometimes. I want my soaps to dry. So that's it. Thanks very much.